This could be one of the most challenging slates of the season. While we only have 8 games, almost every team is on the second half of a back-to-back set. That wouldn't be a huge deal in the middle of the season, but we anticipate about half of these teams resting players in this circumstance.
We don't know which ones yet, so it'll be up to you guys to figure things out closer to the opening tip. So let's go ahead and get into it. Core plays DeJounte Murray, PG, SG, ATL, $9,700 DraftKings, $9,600 FanDuel. Murray has been one of the best players in DFS since the All-Star break, taking over this offense in the absence of Trae Young. That's led to him scoring at least 41 DraftKings points in 20 of his last 23 games, posting a 49-point average in that span.
That form should be easy to duplicate against Charlotte, sitting 29th in defensive efficiency. When they played 2 weeks ago, Murray amassed 66 DK points in one of the best games of his career.
Anthony Edwards, SG, SF, Min. $9,500 DraftKings. We had Edwards in here yesterday, and we're going back to him for all the same reasons after that 51-point masterpiece. The All-Star has taken over this offense in Karl Anthony Towns' absence, averaging 46 DraftKings points per game across his last 14 fixtures.
He's also scored at least 40 fantasy points in 11 of those, and you know he'll be hungry against Denver since those teams are battling for the best record in the Western Conference. Paul George, SG, SF. LAC, $8,700 DraftKings. It sounds like Kawhi Leonard will miss another game here, and we know that PG-13 can take over an offense.
That's what he did in La's most recent game, scoring a season-high 68 DraftKings points against an elite Cleveland defense. Facing Phoenix is a much easier matchup, with the Suns surrendering the 9th most fantasy points to opposing wings.
That was clear when George dropped 52 DK points in one of their matchups earlier in the year. Cash game considerations: Luka Doncic, PG. Doll, $12,800 DraftKings, $12,600 FanDuel. It's hard to fade Luka in DFS right now, even though his price tags are out of control.
He's earned it, leading the league with 66 DraftKings points per game. He's also got a 50-point floor while averaging over 70 fantasy points per game over the last 2 months. We're willing to use him against anyone, but we love that Luka has 73 and 72 DK points in his 2 most recent meetings with Miami.
Nikola Jokic, C. Den, $12,200 DraftKings. The Joker is always a top-notch option, averaging 61 DraftKings points per game. He's also got a 50-point floor, just like Luka, scoring at least 76 DK points in 3 of his last 4 fixtures.
That fantastic form should continue against Minnesota, with Joker scoring 58 and 60 DK points in their 2 most recent matchups. Something about the Rudy Gobert matchup lights up Jokic's eyes because he's done even better than that throughout their careers.
Josh Giddey, PG, SG, OKC, $7,700 DraftKings, $8,100 FanDuel. Since this is the second half of AB2B, there's a chance Williams and SGA could sit. Giddey is having the best stretch of his career without those guys right now, scoring at least 43 DraftKings points in 7 of his last 9 games.
The Aussie also has a 42-point average in that span and should stuff the stat sheet at will against a 26th-ranked San Antonio defense. GPP targets Gary Trent Jr., SG, SF, Tour, $6,400 DraftKings, $6,900 FanDuel. This Toronto roster has been trounced by injuries and trades, but it's allowed Trent to take over.
The sharpshooter regularly plays 35 to 40 minutes while taking 20 shots a game. This newfound role has led to Trent Jr. scoring at least 30 DK points in 10 of his last 11 outings while generating a 37-point average in that span.
It's not like Brooklyn is a scary matchup either, ranked 20th in defensive efficiency ratings. Bobby Portis, PF.C. Mill, $6,700 DraftKings, $6,800 FanDuel. Since this is the second half of AB2B, it wouldn't be surprising to see Lillard, Giannis, or Middleton sit.
All we need is one of those guys to be out because that'll guarantee Portis more minutes and shot attempts. In the 23 games that Portis has played at least 27 minutes, he's averaging 36 DK points per game.
Playing 27 minutes should be a lock if one of those guys sits, but it's possible that all three are out, and this offense is run through Portis. Zach Collins, PF.C. SAS, $4,900 DraftKings, $6,200 FanDuel. This is another guesstimate, but we know San Antonio will be short-handed here.
They're already missing Keldon Johnson and Devin Vassell, but we anticipate more guys sitting in this B2B. That could force Collins into 30 minutes as a starter, and he was a $7,000 player in that type of role last season.
In the 27 games that ZC has played at least 23 minutes, he's averaging 31 DraftKings points per game. Good luck finding that from another player in this price range. Value plays Daniel Gafford, C. Dal, $6,100 DraftKings, $6,100 FanDuel. It's hard to believe that Gafford's price has dropped so much.
This guy was a $7,000 player just a few weeks ago, averaging 32 DraftKings points per game since becoming the Mavs' starting center. That's what we saw in Washington, and the minutes should be on the rise since Derek Lively is injured right now.
Facing Miami can be tricky, but Dallas needs Gafford out there for 30 minutes to oppose Bam Adebayo. Dennis Schroeder, PG, BKN, $6,100 DraftKings, $6,400 FanDuel. The Nets have been one of the worst teams in the second half, but Schroeder has been a sneaky addition.
He's taken over as the starting point guard since Ben Simmons got injured, averaging 31 DK points per game across his last 21 outings. Our favorite part about this is that he gets a revenge game against Toronto, who ranks 29th in total defense since the All-Star break.
Vasily J. Micic, PG, Char, $5,700 DraftKings, $6,100 FanDuel. The Hornets have been better over the last 2 weeks, and Micic is a significant reason for their success. The trade deadline acquisition has taken over as the starting point guard since LaMelo Ball got injured.
That's led to Micic scoring at least 29 DraftKings points in 6 straight outings, posting a 33-point average in that span. That form should continue against Atlanta, ranked 27th in points allowed and defensive efficiency.
Advantageous pricing. Zach Collins, PF.C. SAS, $4,900 DraftKings, $6,200 FanDuel. Noah Clowney, PF. BKN, $4,100 DraftKings, $5,200 FanDuel. Clint Capela, C. ATL, $6,500 DraftKings, $7,600 FanDuel. Hayward Highsmith, SF. MIA, $4,200 DraftKings, $5,400 FanDuel. Wendell Carter Jr. C. ORL, $5,300 DraftKings, $6,500 FanDuel. Justin Champagny, SF, SAS. $4,500 DraftKings, $5,800 FanDuel.